Okay, so I came across an article the other day that really caught my attention because of its titillating, clickable title. And I thought, you know what? I could make a video about that because it's, something that you guys might click on as well if you saw a title that was in some way similar to this, Copies of Prince Harry's memoir smeared with Afghan blood to go on sale. Now, who would think that smearing copies of Harry's memoir in Afghan blood, I've got to be careful about saying that, it's too many times, who would think that that is a good idea other than an absolute 100% professional artiste, right? And so here's the point I want to make with this video. First of all, don't hate on it today. There won't be much editing because I don't have time. But second of all, I want to say this to you, right? That a lot of you think that us YouTubers, right? And I am a YouTuber. I'm legit, right? You think that we're grifters. You think that we're just putting clickable thumbnails and clickable titles for you all to click on to get your clicks, right? We're trying to whip up controversy and get attention to fill the holes in our flawed personalities. Well, no, my personality is not that flawed. Actually, it's pretty flawless. Yeah, that's a word, flawless. Anyway, this guy, on the other hand, this is a grifter. Not only Prince Harry, but this fellow, right? Artist Andrei Molodkin says he has covered 25 copies of Spare with human blood. Because, of course he has. Because he's an artiste. I'm an artiste. He's covered 25 copies of Spare with human blood, which he will put on display today before selling just before the King's coronation. What a perfect timing. Why do you think he's doing this? What's the point? What's the message? Why would you cover all these books? 25 books in human blood. Copies of Prince Harry's memoir will be smeared in the blood of Afghan people, and they'll go on sale at a 5-figure price tag. Oh, now I get it, right? I see the 5-figure price tag. It comes after the Russian anti-war artist projected a sculpture filled with blood onto St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Now, and that was in protest over the Duke of Sussex's remarks about the number of kills in Afghanistan. So this guy thought he was reading Harry's memoir, Spare. Of course, he read it. He didn't just read an article about it. He read the book from cover to cover, all 470 pages of it. And he got to that bit and went, "No! Why? How could you, Harry? Why would you do that? Damn you!" Right? That's what happened. Andrei Molodkin, he was indignant. He was filled with rage as he read about Harry's time in Afghanistan. And he thought, how can I right this wrong? I've got it. I've got it. I'm going to fill a sculpture with human blood and project it on to St. Paul's Cathedral in London, right? Not because I want attention. Not because I think that, like Damon Hirst in the 1990s, shock value is worth more than artistic talent, right? No. 1,000 times no. Because that is the only way I can display my outrage. I need to go to one of the biggest and most recognisable and famous monuments in London, and thank God it's a religious symbol. It's a cathedral, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill a sculpture with the blood of Afghan people to remind the Afghan people what happened and why they should still be angry, right? To make them feel for their lost relatives once again, but very publicly this time, right? And then I'm going to project it onto a big religious structure in the centre of the UK capital, because that's the only way I can really get these feelings off my chest. I'm just angry. Don't you understand? I'm an artiste. I feel a lot of emotion, right? I am an artiste, right? That's what he's doing. I get it, Andrei Molodkin. So he projected the blood-filled sculpture onto St Paul's Cathedral in London to express his anger, in protest over the Duke of Sussex's remarks about the numbers of kills he made in Afghanistan. Molodkin said some of the blood donated for the artwork has now been used to create his alternative spare. So he had a bit left over and thought, how can I keep this going? Well, and I had a bit of human blood left over from the last piece of art that I did, and so what I thought I'd do, I'd create these alternative memoirs, these alternative spare books, which will be available from the 2nd of May for just 4 days before the King's coronation. Surprise, surprise, total coincidence, for $10,000 each. But he's not doing it for money. He's not doing it for money. He's doing it for a good cause. The artist said any money raised from the sale will be donated to Afghan charities. He doesn't want the money. He doesn't want the money. He's going to give it away to charities. It's all for a good cause. And he doesn't want any attention either. That's why he hasn't just set up a GoFundMe. He wants to really... He wants to highlight the problem, but he's like Banks. He's done it anonymously. Oh no, his name's everywhere. Andrei Molodkin. I don't know. I guess. Well, he's going to raise potentially how many? 10,000 times 25. What's that? 250,000. There's no way this artist could raise £250,000 for Afghan charities. I don't know which ones. There's no way he could do it without smearing copies of Harry's memoir in human blood. There's no other way to do it. Don't you understand? He's just indignant, right? In a statement about his latest stunt called Blood Money, unironically called Blood Money, him using blood to make money, and in some way that's like him owning Harry. I can't believe I feel like Harry is less of a grifter after reading this. This is way worse, in my opinion. In my opinion, because I'm actually going to say something in defence of what Harry said. He spoke in his memoir about being in battle and what it's like to kill enemy fighters. Now, obviously, I don't know what that's like, but he made a point about having to see them as a target, see them as a threat that has to be eliminated. He called them chess pieces, right? Now, I understand if you've lost someone in battle and you hear some privileged prick like Harry talking like that, it would make you feel upset. However, I feel like there is a legitimate point to be made there that when you... what are you supposed to do when you're in a battle situation? Think about their children and their parents. I mean, what about a surgeon? What's a surgeon doing when he's operating on someone? It's a life or death procedure. I don't know, open heart surgery, and you're thinking, oh my God, they're poor kids if this man dies on me. No, they're probably not. They're probably looking at the person like a machine, like a piece of meat. And that sounds callous. And to the people affected, if that person does die in the operating theatre and they don't see any emotion from the surgeon, you'd feel indignant. But how else do you do that? You just go home crying every day if you're a heart surgeon. I get the point that it's Prince Harry saying it, and that's that alone. Anything Prince Harry says is annoying and stupid, right? But that's probably one of the least stupid things he said. I understand the indignation of people who lose who lose relatives, who lose friends, and then someone says something like that sounds callous. I understand. However, speaking from the point of view of a soldier, it does sound reasonable that you have to think about the enemy in those terms, right? Is that insane? I don't know if it's insane. I do like the way Harry describes it, though. He says, while in the heat and the fog of combat, I didn't think of those 25 as people. The thing is, this is where I feel annoyed. It's Harry has a chapter in his memoir about a seal opera. I made a video about it. Does anyone remember that? It was a pretty good video. Just going to leave that there. In which he talks about roaming down to the beach in front of the castle in, where is it, Balmoral? Or where was it? I don't know, some castle somewhere. Went down to the beach in front of the castle with Meghan, and they called to the seals, and the seals, they serenaded the seals, and Harry swam with the seals. This all really happened. But anyway, when they got back to the castle, the cook said, that probably alerted the killer whales. The killer whales are probably going to eat the seals. And Harry ends that chapter with the line, how did it all get so dark so fast? Now, there's a contradiction here, isn't it? He talks callously about slaughtering people in battle and how you just have to see them as chess pieces. And that's a very sort of hard thing to get your head round if you've not experienced it, like I haven't. And then you've got the pathetic whining, how did it all get so dark so fast, that maybe a seal got killed by a killer whale. You know, that was a dark episode of Harry's life. Him having a stroll on the beach and singing to seals in front of the castle. What a douche. However, Steel Manning Harry, Prince Harry, Andrei Molodkin, who's worse? I don't know. Artist angry over Harry's remarks. Molodkin told Sky News last month that Harry's remarks had made him very, very angry. I'm sorry about the accent. I won't do the accent anymore. And he said he wanted to drench St. Paul's Cathedral in the blood of Afghan people. What? So you were reading Harry's memoir, which you definitely did, right? You didn't just read an article and thought, oh shit, I can make a piece of art about this and people will know who I am. No. What he was doing, he was reading the book, he read it cover to cover, spare, all 470 pages or whatever it was. And then he got to that bit and he just went, no! No! Why? Why, God, why? I'm sorry about the accent again. Why, God, why? Why did you... Oh, Harry, how could you? What can I do to display my indignation to the world? I've got it. I'm going to fill up a sculpture with blood and I'm going to project the image onto St. Paul's Cathedral. Because what you want to do as an artist, right, is express emotion, right? And the sad fact of the matter is all of the bowls of fruit that Andrei Molodkin has been painting for the last 18 years of his life haven't got a fucking look in. Nobody cares about all the bowls of fruit that he's been painting and the landscapes, you know. Nobody cared, you know, the fields of wheat, the wheat fields that he's been drawing. But this is where he can really let his true emotions out and show how he's feeling. Blood all over a religious landmark, St. Paul's Cathedral, one of the biggest, most famous, recognisable religious landmarks in the UK. And I'm going to fill up a sculpture with the blood of the relatives of the victims of war. And I'm going to I'm just going to smear everything everywhere. And then, oh shit, I've got a bit left over. I've got a bit too much blood. I got a bit carried away with the blood collecting. Maybe I can spatter it all over some books and sell the books as well. You don't fool me, Andrei Molodkin. You were a grifter. I'm not a grifter. You're a grifter, Andrei Molodkin. I'm here fucking telling it like it is, okay? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know I have. Almost as much as the seal opera video I did, which not enough of you watched. It's not that not enough of you watched it, that sounds ungrateful. It's just that the seal opera, some of my finest material went into that, and other videos I've got 3 times as many views. I'm not... Please go and watch the seal opera. It's worth it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all those things that help me out, please. I mean, or I'm just going to smear myself in blood for the next video. The blood of what victims? What tragedies have happened lately where I can, you know, go and get the relatives to donate their blood to me. I'll work it out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.